Okay, so let's talk about what 15K a month clients actually look for in a VA, right? Because most VAs actually never figure this out. So, what I want to do in this video is essentially bring in some of my personal experience in looking for those clients that do pay you large amounts, large sums of money as a virtual assistant. Okay, so um, let me start by this. When I first started as a VA, a lot of the clients that I got, they were very task based. So what they were looking for is essentially someone to just do simple email management or someone to come in and just help them schedule, right? So they'll send you an email, be like, hey, schedule this on my calendar, and they'll give you the parameters. And so they were really looking for someone to just do those very simple tasks that were time consuming in their day. And that is very much basic VA work. And that is essentially what you will get paid for um, when you're doing that kind of work. So there was nothing complex about it. It's simple things like, hey, organize my Google Drive. Hey, can you clean up my inbox? Can you book this restaurant reservation? Can you um, make an appointment here for me? So just all those kinds of things. Or like, can you help me coordinate this meeting and that meeting? Those are very much basic virtual assistant tasks. So you will not get paid more than, generally they're done on like an hourly basis. You may be for the month, but it's like 40, 50. I think 50 would be on the high end, like 40,000 a year, or like 20, around $20 an hour, maybe 25 if you're lucky, is what you're looking at there as a virtual assistant. So that's kind of what we want to get out of, right? We don't want to keep making 2 to 3K a month for eternity as virtual assistants, especially if you've been doing this for several years and you have a ton of experience. So what happens is the role, if you have the right clients, the role will evolve into something that pays you or should pay you a lot more. And a lot of clients, so I'll just start by talking about this. So, essentially, what clients look for in you that they want to pay more for is something that helps them make more revenue, right? So, if they're making more money, they're willing to pay for you and pay you more, right? And so, what that looks like is um, just over my journey, is essentially clients were looking for specific systems to be set up or for me to help them audit their systems in their business, or for me to create something that helps flow their leads through, and so to just give you guys more insight, or a couple of examples essentially is, I have a lot of clients that come to me about Go High Level. So I am very skilled in Go High Level, which I can tell you right now, 99.9% of VAs are not. It's not really a skill that VAs are supposed to have, right? But having that knowledge and the ability to work with it, and that's just an example. There's so many other softwares. There is like Monday.com, Asana. If you can get skilled, like, and by skilled, I mean not being able to just use it, but being able to help set it up, being able to help implement it in their business, being able to make it work better in their business, right? If they already have it. So these clients essentially come to me, or yeah, they come to me and they're looking for a system to be built in their business. Okay, so and it doesn't have to be built, but just to help make their business run better, essentially, is what I'm getting at here. So a client will come to me and say, hey, I need you to help me make this extensive funnel so that my lead goes from A to sale, right? And or a client might come to me and say, hey, how can I make this better? Or how can I make that better in my business? And so that's really truly at that point when they come to you for advice, on how to make their business run better, you've leveled up your VA skill. You're no longer someone that's just doing the task. You're someone um, that helps them level up their business. You're almost like a partner, to become a partner, right? I once worked for this agency and they had 3 levels of assistance. And I always thought it was such a good way to describe it. And it was like administrative assistant, which is like the basic, right? And then there's just executive assistant, which is a lot of like the calendaring, scheduling, email management, coordination, things like that. And then there was partner assistant. And the partner assistant really is the level that you're trying to get to where clients will pay you a really good lump sum of money to be there. And it's just someone who has specific knowledge and a skill. Every single business, especially nowadays in this like remote world that we're in, has softwares and systems and things that they use. So if you're specialized in something, like let's say you come from a background of the legal field and you want to become a legal virtual assistant. So there's, I forget what they're called right now, but there's a couple of systems that are specific to the legal field. If you're skilled in those, that's a huge plus. I once worked with, and I'm not from the legal field, but I once had clients who needed an entire software like that set up, and I had the knowledge and was able to do it and got paid for it, where someone else didn't have that knowledge. And so that's where you're setting yourself apart from the millions of VAs that are out there, because there is a lot, right? So again, just to sum up everything we just talked about, but what clients actually look for is for you to have more than just the basic skills. And just to look at this from a different perspective too, if the client has to tell you everything that they need from you and you can't read between the lines, then you're not the VA they want to pay more for, right? To make yourself indispensable, you have to be able to read between the line, be able to get to know their business really fast, know the systems, and be able to, this is important, be able to give them advice and your recommendation on best course of action for the problem that they came to you with, right? That's what's going to give you the money or get you the money, is really being a partner to them and pitching in your thoughts, your recommendations, your skills, your knowledge into their business, instead of just receiving the task, doing the task, and being done with it. So that's the main difference as to why clients would pay you more over less. All right, cool. So if this was helpful to you guys, I do have a ton of other videos. I have a video where I talk about how to actually get from the 2K a month to the 15K a month, and the exact system that I used and the journey that I went on. I'll link it below, and then I'll see you guys there.